Good morning and a warm welcome to our viewers and our karting enthusiasts all over the world. Welcome and thank you for joining us at the South African National Challenge. It's a Rotax Max Challenge. It's a karting championship, and this is round 2 of 4 that we have in South Africa for 2022. We've started off, our first national challenge was down at the Kalani circuit in Cape Town, and for second round we're here in Benoni, Joburg. It's at the Formula K track. It's a fairly new track. It was only completed in 2019, and so the drivers aren't too familiar with this track, which is going to make for some interesting driving. The track temperatures today are fairly cool. It's been a chilly 6 degrees and with a maximum expected of 15 degrees. And so the motors are going to want to perform out there, but the tires are probably going to do a bit of squealing. There's a lot of rubber going down. It's going to be exciting and competitive. Our track director today, event director, is Roger Stephen. Our assistant COC is Mitch Kutsia. And our clerk of the course, the man of the moment, is Adrian Wood. And I'm hoping to catch up with him a little bit later. Hopefully he's not going to be too busy giving out penalty documents to our drivers. Those of you who want to get involved in karting, you need to register with WAMZA. That's the World of Motorsport ZA. Once you register with them, you get yourself a kart and you get out on the track. Those of you who have a favorite driver and aren't able to be in Benoni today, you can follow the live times on racemonitor.com or on speedhive.mylaps.com. Those are the 2 apps, and they're reliable in giving you your favorite drivers' best times. We're going to look forward to some competitive driving, and hopefully you'll join us for the entire day here on a chilly 26th of July 2022 in Benoni.
Expect to see some big battles at the front end of this one. There really are some competitive natured little drivers out there. A couple of guys coming from some very famous racing stables in this country, and of course being led out by our pace kart to start things out, and they do the slightly shortened version of the circuit, so expect to see little fights here starting to rage amongst them. Keep an eye out on that front end. As I said, Noah Croneel, probably one to watch out for on car 24. Luan de Vet as well, and Callum de Toy. Michael O'Mahony, Liam Wharton, Omalemo Mfana. You've got Jaden van der Merwe, Diego Antunes. You've got Ronaldo Kuhn out there, Brody Dowling. Look out for Boipelo Motleche. And of course Benjamin Gibbard and Adrian Stein, all looking for opportunities to be at the front end. Brody Dowling looks like he might have the front end at the moment. That's not, of course, a Bambino. That's our pace kart. And Nico Vasanis doing us a little bit of duties there to get the pace kart up and trucking. As they come through there, 22 leads out. It is Brody Dowling who's got the lead at this stage. Looks like Diego Antunes up in his second. Watch out for Noah Cronier down in 6th place, making his way through the field rapidly as well. Coming out of that famous racing stable is Dad Mark and Uncle, of course, the Ginger Ninja, doing a super job in terms of flying the flag high for South African motorsport in their racing careers. And looking forward to seeing what Noah's potential is. 54.358 there for the first lap in anger for our Bambino Heat 1. Dowling from Callum de Toy. De Toy up in his 2nd place. Good run there from Callum de Toy. Ahead of Ronaldo Kuhn. Noah Cronier into 4th place. Adrian Stein is down in the 5 spot. And then you got Diego Antunes, Boipelo Motlaechi, Jensen Diaz and Michael O'Mahony. Then it's Benjamin Gibbard, Liam Wharton, Jaden van der Merwe, and of course Molemo, I beg your pardon, Mfana in the 13th spot at the moment. So all 13 karts still out on track and fighting hard here for honours in the first heat of an 8-lap race for Bambinos. As you can see, they cut the circuit very short, kind of the indie version of the circuit as opposed to the full track here at Formula K in Benoni. And if you have just joined us from all around the world, a massive welcome. I see a couple of guys on the YouTube feed that have jumped on. Big welcome there to Peter Hardeman. We've got Jake out there as well. Rob Marsden's in the house, so is the team from Black Sheep. And I see Amelia Bishop was on earlier on watching Tate flying the flag high, but unfortunately dropping down to 13th place there, so must have been some kind of an issue there for Tate Bishop in that last senior max heat. No issues at the moment though for Dowling. Brody Dowling, little look over the shoulder there from Callum de Toy. Bit concerned about Noah Cronier coming through the field rapidly to find a way through there on Ronaldo Kuhn. Didn't quite get through on Kuhn, but a bit of pressure being put onto the back end of Cronier as well from Diego Antunes. So the battle of the double figures at this stage. We've got 22 at the front, 66 and 77 tucked into 3 and 4. or 3 and 5 at the moment, and in the middle of them is the 24 cart of Noah Cronje. And as we just mentioned, Callum du Toit there running 34, same as what his dad runs. So Jonathan du Toit, of course, from Extreme Supercars and Swartkops, and of course the Extreme Festival man there from Swartkops, always ran the number 34 as his preferred number. And it looks like the youngster there from his racing stable has now decided to follow dad's antics and gone with a very similar number. Same thing can be said there with Noah Cronje. Of course, Mark Cronje, famous for running 24 all of his race career. Now Noah taking over that mantle and the number as well to run things at the moment in 4th place for Bambinos. Just looking further back in that pack, a couple of carts have joined the mix, and it looks like the 11 cart of Adrian Steyn is in the house as well, as we get into the mix here for the 5th lap being completed. 4 to go. So that's, sorry, third lap completed. 4 to go now for our competitors. Noah Cronje has moved himself up into 3rd place with the fastest lap of the race there, a 52.5 from Cronje in 3rd place ahead of Ronaldo Kuhn. Now Diego Antunes has dropped back slightly, so I was about to say Adrian Steyn has joined the battle and is going to make it another double-figured cart into the front end. So 22 leads out, 34 and 24. Battle of the Fours there for 2nd and 3rd place, and then it's the rest of those double little figures, 77, 66 and 11, all in the mix for the front end of this field. Look at how they're chopping and changing. Change up for 2nd. There you go. Up into 2nd place goes Cronje. He now looks to try and close down on the 22 cart out front. So Brody's only got 1 cart to worry about right now, but look at the gap that he's pulled out amongst the rest of these Bambino competitors. So having a look at the gap now, 1.2 seconds down to Cronje in 2nd. And Tunis is 0.2 off that. 0.2 of that is Kuhn. 0.7 off that is Callum du Toit, and then 0.2 again to Adrian Steyn. So you got the leader and then 4 carts behind, very evenly matched. Looks like Callum du Toit might have dropped back slightly there in the dam section. Maybe a small mistake there on that last pass from du Toit. But it looks like now that Noah's at the front of that 2nd pack and the fight for 2nd, he's now bringing along 66 Antunes and 77 Ronaldo Kuhn up for the run. Let's see what Brodie Darling can do to try and maintain that 1.2 second lead he's got as they come to the switchback now and head back down the main straightaway for another lap to be completed. They've got 2 to go in this first heat of Bambinos. Cronje has closed that gap down slightly. It's under a second. Is there enough time though, with only 2 to go, to catch Brodie Darling and get ahead of him? Darling has got 1 bit of aid that could potentially help him out here, and that's the fact that Noah Cronje is going to have to go defensive to keep out the attack from Antunes and Kuhn, and that might slow him up ever so slightly. If Noah decides to get his head down though, oh, there you go, great move from Antunes, coming out slightly tighter line, making Noah Cronje come across and cut his nose off to keep that 2nd place. Defensive driving from Noah Cronje is going to keep him from catching Brodie Darling for the lead with 1 to go. As they come through the switch now, there we go, 1 lap to go for these drivers. Cronje under massive pressure, and Tunis looking good. Fastest lap of the race now goes to Ronaldo Kuhn, 52.5 in a Bambino. That's absolutely hauling around here for a Bambino category. And Ronaldo Kuhn looking dangerous as anything as they go into this last lap. They still haven't been able to get through on Noah Cronje. He just has the ability to place that cart perfectly and not allow anybody through. But as I said, that defensive driving is giving the man out front a chance for the win. About half a lap to go in this one for these youngsters. First heat on Bambinos almost completed there. Cronje goes across, cuts off Antunes once again, keeping him out. And now with 3 corners to go, it looks like it's plain sailing here for Brodie Darling. Brodie Darling's first victory for Bambinos has been an easy one. If they'd been a bit closer, there certainly would have been a lot more of it. Checkered flag is about to come out. Darling takes it. Cronje in 2nd. Oh, only just 1/10 ahead of Antunes. Diego Antunes there in 3rd, beats out Ronaldo Kuhn. It was only 0.2 off him. And then it's Adrian Steyn and Callum du Toit to bring up the top 6. So you can see, well, they're still having a little bit of a go down out of the dam section. I don't think they've seen the checkered flag just yet, but fantastic race action there from our Bambinos.
Callum. Heat 1 was great. I got up to second off the start and then I lost it and I went back to sixth.
To sixth. What happened that you went from second to sixth? Was it one corner or did you spin out?
I blocked on the wrong corner and then when I was exiting, they overtook me.
I'm so sorry, but this is racing and you know it is competitive. Are you going to come back in heat 2?
Yes.
Excellent. So you've obviously got the pace. Your cart is set up well if you go into second. So all the best.
Thank you.
Welcome, Callum. I've got Benjamin Gibbot in a Bambino cart here. What number are you?
Number 13.
Number 13. I saw number 13 spin out in heat 1. What happened?
The guy that bumped me from the back.
Okay. Is there a lot of argy-bargy out there? Yeah.
Yes.
And does that not make you scared when you're driving?
No.
No. Do you just bump people back?
No.
Oh, good driving. Well done. Okay, well, where did you land up at the end of the heat 1?
Number 8.
Number 8. All right, you're still in the mix, eh? You can come through the ranks in heat 2. Is that what you're planning to do?
Yes.
Okay. All the very best. I hope you do very well. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
I've got Bambino cart number 46 here. This is Liam Wharton. He's doing really, really well in the national standing. He's from Cape Town and he's actually number 2 in his national ranking. Liam, what happened in today's heat 1?
Yeah, I don't have a very strong motor, but I'm trying my hardest.
Do you find that Cape Town is kinder to you because you know the track and this track you don't know so well?
Well, it is my second time, but it's only my second time, so I'm really trying my hardest.
Well, I wish you all the very best, and as you get to know the track better, I'm sure you're going to be right up there. Good luck.
Thanks.
And you are?
Jensen Diaz.
Oh, hello, Diaz. All right, which class are you racing today?
Bambinos.
Bambinos. And is that a very competitive class?
Yes.
Okay. So tell us about heat 1.
At the start, I went up a place,
Okay.
and then I got a little bump, so I dropped down one place,
Okay.
and then I dropped down another because I got another bump, and I went from 8th to 10th.
8th to 10th, but that's not bad. A lot of bumping.
Yeah, and then I needed to go wide.
Okay. Well, all the best. I hope you can climb up the positions in the next heat.
Yes.
Thank you. Oh, Mahoney, Michael O'Mahoney, cart number 37, Bambino. Michael's also from Cape Town, a national ranking number 4. All right, fantastic. How are you finding the Formula K track?
I was fast all weekend, but today I'm just really slow. Me and my teammates from Cape Town should have worked together, but...
Okay. Yeah, but I see that you qualified 12th today, but you did so much better previously. So you're just having a bad start to the day, yeah?
Because I've never ever raced on this track. This is my
Okay.
first ever time racing here, and my first ever time actually having an away race.
Okay, so Michael, all the best. You're still learning the track, and as you get to know it, I'm sure you'll do much better. All the best. I've got a little Bambino here. This is Jaden van der Merwe in cart number 61, and this is his pit. This is a nice setup, Jaden. Yeah? You enjoy being in your pit. I don't see you at the playgrounds too often. You just sit and watch Dad work on your cart, eh?
Yes.
Okay. And are you enjoying your racing in the Bambino class today?
Yes.
Okay. And how is your cart performing?
Good.
Good. Excellent. Well, thank you for your time. You look very smart in your beautifully coordinated shoes and suit. We wish you all the best for heat 2 and 3.
Thank you.
I've got Omolemo Mfana here. He's our youngest Bambino in the national. Cart number 55. Hello, my boy. How are you finding the track today, Omolemo?
It's good.
Is it good? Speak up so we can hear.
It's good.
It's good. Is it not very slippery out there?
No.
No? And are you enjoying a national? Is this your first or second or third or fourth national?
Second.
Your second national. I think you've got a bright future in karting. Congratulations. Good luck for the rest of the day.
Thank you.
And of course, Bambino's running the Indy circuit here. One of 12 different variations at Formula K for karters and short circuit racing. If you've never been out to the circuit and you are in Johannesburg, it's definitely worthwhile having a little squiz at maybe the calendar to find out when the next race meeting here at Formula K is going to be, because the facilities here are top class. And now looking for an opportunity for Noah Cronier to possibly spoil the day there for Ronaldo Kuhn, Adrian Steyn, Diogo Antunes and Brody Darling. I said at the front end of this field, it's kind of a battle of the double digits. We've got 77, 66, 11 and 22 fighting with kart 24 for honours here in the second heat of Bambinos. They get led to the top of the hill for the start, but that's only for the start, and then of course they cut back and take the Indy version of the circuit. I think it's version B or C of the 12 versions that this track and configurations Formula K can run. But it's a shortened version that Bambinos will be taking here, led out by Nick Seferis in the Leclerc chassis. Kuhn and Cronier, Steyn and Antunes, Darling and Detoy, Wharton and Gibbard, Motlaechi and Diaz, O'Mahony and Fana, and Fundamav at the back as they come across the line. We start things out, and the pace car drops the hammer. Is it going to be Noah Cronier who gets the whole shot? Looks like he might do. Noah Cronier going around the outside of turn 1 and trying to hang on. They come 4x4 out of turn 1. Bambino's in the house as they head down towards turn 2, eventually slotting into the line astern, and it is Cronier who hits the front. Antunes down into what is about 5th or 6th place at the moment, 77. Kuhn is up in a second, hanging on to that front row just behind the man who was just behind him on the track. So a couple of changes there. In fact, dropping down to 3rd place is the 7-7 of Ronaldo Kuhn. Antunes up into what is second now, challenging for the lead as they head towards where the switchback would normally happen on the kart. And this is where they'll cut back across the circuit as they come out of that switchback. So hitting the front for the first time, Diego Antunes leads things out as they come up to the top and into the right-hander that completes their first lap in anger. On his tail, Noah Cronier. Cronier's got problems of his own with the 22 and race 1 winner, Brody Darling, up to 3rd place now and side by side with Ronaldo Kuhn as they came across the line. Kuhn gets the motor down to 4th place. Darling is up into 3rd. Adrian Steyn is into 5th place as they came across the line there. Steyn trying to close that gap down ever so slightly there on the other 2 karts just ahead of him. That is 22 and 77. 66 leads out. That is Antunes. He controls things from the front at the moment, and the top kart chassis now doing a superb job. Watch out for the 24 kart though. Noah Cronier looking very dangerous. Good drive out of the turn 5. Heading to the switchback section. Brody Darling all over the back end. Looking for a way through now. Can he find one on Noah Cronier? Antunes coming through there as well. And controlling things from the front end, just trying to keep the entire pack at bay for now. Not easy to do. Noah comes wide, runs down into turn 1. He's got the inside line for turn 2, potential change up here for the lead. Noah's got through, and he's going to bring the 7 through as well. Ronaldo Kuhn, no, Darling comes through as well. So it's Brody Darling who dives on the inside. I thought Antunes was going to be outdone by 1, but he's actually outdone by 2 karts coming into turn 4. So a lot of changes there in that turn 2, 3 and 4. Lead changed up first of all to Noah Cronier, 2nd place. Then went to the 22 of Brody Darling. Darling now ahead of initial race leader Diego Antunes. Antunes now under a bit of pressure from 77 on his tail. That's Ronaldo Kuhn. Kuhn has got Adrian Steyn and the 11 kart right on his tail. And then it's 18 coming along for the ride. All of a sudden we've got Boipelo Motlaechi into the mix as well. So Boipelo with a much better run here in heat number 2, up into 6th place overall. Come down towards turn 2 now, 6 karts in it, dropping back slightly is Callum Detoy. Detoy was a lot higher up in race number 1. Dropped back down into a top 5 finish there for Callum Detoy. Running the number 34, similar to what he's dad. Oh, here we go. Noah Cronier getting up close and personal. Brody Darling putting the pressure onto the 24 kart. Makes a small mistake. They're side by side as they head to the right-hander. So close there. No Cronier later on the liftoff, but Brody Darling saw that and cut back earlier on. He got through. He's moved to the lead. Darling hits the front, and second place, a touch between the second place drivers there. Noah Cronier coming together with a 66 machine. Diego Antunes just having a little bit of a touch there with Noah as they came out of that right-hander. Now completing another lap. They've got the halfway stage reach of the 8. 4 done, 4 to go. Darling leads for the first time. Can he open up the gap that he did in the first one? Ahead of Noah Cronier, Diego Antunes, Ronaldo Kuhn and Adrian Stein. I said it was going to be a battle of those double figures. The only one that's spoiling the day there for the double-figured carts is the 24 cart there of Noah Cronier. Fight is on though. First 4 carts going at it. See a Marshall running along there to try and help out one of the carts who might have spun out there. He's actually gone right off track. 2 carts off track. Just on the left-hand side of that drone shot. 2 carts off circuit. It looks like it might be Adrian Stein in the 11 cart. That's one of them. We've lost Stein in the background there for 5th place. The 11 cart's gone missing. So potentially Stein and Boipelo, Motlechi. Possibly those 2 carts that were involved in that incident. Brody Darling going side by side. Outside line from Cronier. Is that like Mark Cronier at World Rallycross? His dad did that at World Rallycross to get through in Cape Town only a couple of years ago. And Noah's using the same kind of line across the line to get through to the lead of the race. Cronier leads out, Darling in second. Antunes into 3rd place. He's still got pressure coming from our poleman, Ronaldo Kuhn. But there's nothing in it between these first 4. They'll be coming up on those back markers who've been helped out by the marshals to get back on track. But it looks like there's going to be a lot more of this action expected over these next 2.5 laps. Coming up on the 46, Liam Wharton looks like he might be the first of the back markers to be caught here by Cronier and Darling. Brody and Noah going at it for 1 and 2. 3rd place, a little bit of a gap down to 3rd place now. It's in the hands of 77 Ronaldo Kuhn. Kuhn's got ahead of Diego Antunes. 2 laps to go. Absolutely nothing in it, and here they come again, side by side. This time on the outside, it's Brody Darling. Coming up on that back marker realizes he's coming. The blue flags are waving, gets out of the way. Good driving there from the 46 card of Liam Wharton. Wharton stays out of the way. Oh, Darling and Cronier coming together. They've tagged. And that's opened up an opportunity. 77 hits the front. So we got our poleman back to the front. Ronaldo Kuhn hits the front as Darling and Cronier came together. The 2 top car chassis rubbing is racing, and that's exactly what happened as they came out of turn 3. Little touch between the 2 of them, and it's caused them to drop back slightly. Darling's dropped to 4th. Cronier very lucky only to drop down to 2nd. And now goes on the attack to try and get back to the lead of this race. He's got to find a way through on Ronaldo Kuhn. Kuhn at this stage is the lead man. Cronier coming along. Darling's got a problem. Darling puts his hand up. There's an issue there on Darling's kart. One of he's done some damage to the front wheel. Maybe just some issues on that chassis there from him. Something's rubbing. But Darling is losing out big time here. Chance of a second victory going by the wayside here as Darling came together with Noah Cronier. Cronier is about to hit the front. He's looking for a chance now to get up on the inside of the 7-7, and he tags the back end of him. Oh, the 2 of them have gone off. They've gone off the track completely. So Antunes has been gifted an opportunity to dive through here. Looks like Diego's taken that opportunity, but it's definitely a problem there for one of the carts. I think that possibly is the 77 machine. Ronaldo Kuhn stuck on the sideline. Antunes all on his own now. And he's on the final lap. As you can see, this is perfect timing from Antunes' point of view. He stayed out of trouble. He's going to be gifted a victory for staying out of trouble. But is it going to be Cronier who still hangs on for 2nd? Did he have a big enough margin to still maintain 2nd place? No, he has not had a big enough margin. So it's going to possibly be Benjamin Gibbard who comes through for 2nd. That is Diego Antunes taking race 2 in Bambinos. The rest of the pack crossed the line. It's Brody Darling who comes through for 2nd. Cronier in 3rd and Benjamin Gibbard in 4th. Biggest loser there was Ronaldo Kuhn, who also went off the circuit, has not been able to get through yet. Jensen Diaz, Michael O'Mahony comes through there for 6th. Jaden van der Merwe coming through for 7. And still no sign of Ronaldo Kuhn. Boipelo and Adrian Stein. Earlier crashes have come through there to take 7th, 8th and 9th place. And Kuhn still not on track, so it doesn't look like Ronaldo Kuhn has been able to get his cart back onto the circuit. Let's have a look and see. Once again, Antunes from Darling, Cronier from Ben Gibbard, and Jensen Diaz, your top 5 in the Bambinos. Eventually, Ronaldo Kuhn comes through for 10th place, beating out Callum de Toy, Olomelo Mfana, and Liam Wharton for the 13 carts on circuit. Back under race conditions here for the 3rd and final heat now. of our junior category, the youngsters and the future of karting. Certainly well represented here for Bambino's category. 13 of them about to go to race action again, led out by double race winner Brody, and it looks like an awesome job there from Brody Darling so far. But before we get underway, let's shoot down to Lisa quickly and catch up with our race winner there, and I think she's going to be catching up there with the Karabo Malamela. The winners from the previous heat, but she was actually finding an opportunity to catch up with some of our veterans and masters before they go out to their final heat of the day. So Nick Severus, our pace kart there for our Bambino category. Remember, they run the Indy version, or what is it, version C or D of the 12 different tracks that are available here at Formula K. Slightly shortened track compared to what we've had in the past with the other heats that have just finished up. It's Darling and Kuhn on the front row, Motlaeche and Cronje on the second row, Steyn and Antoinez, and then Dutoy and Wharton, Gibbard, Diaz, O'Mahony, and at the back end a good start as well, looking for a change up in luck from Callum Dutoy's point of view as they head down towards turn 1 and 2. Pace kart gets away, looks like somebody crashed at turn 1 there, and we can pick up on that one as we go down to Lisa. But definitely some action down at turn 1. One of the karts running wide. Back down to Lisa.
Right, I've got with me here not the DD2 Masters class, which is age 32 and up. I've got here the DD2 Veterans. This is a new league that's been organized. And if you can just introduce yourselves to us and let us know how your day is going.
Right, I'm Philippe Chapar.
Jonathan Kairus.
Johan Creer.
Frikkie Cornelius.
Derek Joseph.
We call him Frikstappen. So we're a new regional league here in Gauteng. We race at Swartkops, FK here, and Vereniging as part of the Gauteng region. So these are the guys. You want to talk to them?
All right. And you had a couple of breakdowns, somebody mentioned?
Many breakdowns, but at least we're okay now. The third heat's going to be good.
Okay, so the kart is good, the emotions are good, we're feeling positive.
Absolutely better.
Okay, brilliant. So who's the winner out of the 5 of you? Who's
Me. Yeah.
Okay. So
Are we beating some of your masters? They're crying, hey?
I love it. I love it.
Your husband.
Good. You're never too old to karts. We've got the Bambinos on at the moment, so we're going from the oldest on the grid to the youngest on the grid. So back to Greg in the commentary box.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Lisa. Yes, indeed. And it's Brody Darling who's controlling things at the front end. The battle between the double figures thrown into the mix is not the 24 of Noah Cronje. I think Noah Cronje might have been the man who crashed out at turn 1. He got forced off the circuit into that first lap. We just saw him getting out of his kart as we went to Lisa. But it's Darling from Kuhn. Callum Dutoy with a much better start. As I said, looking to change his luck around there. And up into third place ahead of Adrian Steyn and Diago Antoinez. You see green flags down into turn 2, just giving the guys an indication that the incident has been cleared there. But I have to assume that we don't see Noah in that top 6 hunt. So I have to assume that he's the man who possibly ran off the circuit in turn 1. I'm not quite sure if he was helped out, but definitely saw a kart off at turn 1 at the start of this third and final heat of the Bambinos. 77. Looking to try and close things down now as you see Brody Darling just getting away and getting the job done. There's no answer to Brody Darling at the moment, so as we get into this third and final heat of Bambinos. Antoinez has got onto the back end there of Adrian Steyn. It's the 66 and 11 karts in that second pack, but in the middle of those double numbers is the 34 of Callum Dutoy. Great run here from Dutoy. Ahead of Steyn and Antoinez, Benjamin Gibbard, and then it's Jensen Diaz. I don't see Noah Cronje or Boipelo Motlaeche. Those are the 2 karts that potentially were involved in the incident in turn 1. Just saw it in the background and on the left-hand side of the shot as they came out of the dam section. So we went down to Lisa to chat to our slightly more elderly statesman as our youngsters were going at it here, full tilt. Bit of a change up here possibly. Callum looking for a way around the outside of the 7-7 of Kuhn, keeping out Adrian Steyn's attack from behind as well. Watching over the shoulder there, you can see he had a big look. Here comes Antoinez. Antoinez on the inside looking for a chance, possibly spoil Stain's run there, and he's got through. He's got ahead of Adrian Stein up into what is now 4th place. Stein down to 5. Behind Adrian Stein, they line up in Ben Gibbard and Jensen Diaz format. Gibbard and Diaz across the line now stay in the same positions they were in. You can see some carts on the left-hand side here being worked on. That's potentially why we've got that man with the yellow flag waving down at the dam section in turn 2. No one's going to catch this man. Brody Darling doing an amazing job here in the 2-2 carts. Looking for his second win of the weekend. Didn't quite make it the perfect weekend, but he's had a fantastic day in the saddle. There's no doubt about it there for Darling. Look at the gap he's pulled now over the 7-7. Here comes Callum du Toit looking for a chance to get up to second. Adrian Stein going to return the favour on Antunes into the switchback, and he does so. He gets up ahead of Antunes. Antunes demoted down 1 position again. And a nice little run here from Antunes. Has been outgunned again by Adrian Stein in the 11 carts. 22.77, 34, 66, 11. And then lucky for some, number 13 there, Ben Gibbard, ahead of Jensen Diaz. Liam Wharton is in 8th. Jaden Funamava there in 9th place. And looks like Noah Cornelia's got back on track, but he's down in 10th. He'll try and circulate to get as many laps in the bag as he can. Potentially not lose out on a chance to still score some points for finishing up in that top 10. His dad Mark will know exactly how that all feels, and of course we'll be telling him to stay out there and continue circulating to see if he can stay in that top 10 and be classified to score those points. 22 is our leader, Brody Darling. Look at the lead that he has pulled over the rest of this pack. Change up for second. It's Adrian Stein up in the 2nd place now, ahead of the 7-7. Kuhn down into 3rd, Callum du Toit down into 4th. Antunes is in the 5 spot. Behind that, it's Gibbard and Diaz. So we've literally got 6 carts fighting there for 2nd place. And any one of them can take that 2nd place away. Liam Wharton is basically on his own. And there's a small gap down to Jaden. And is that Noah Cronier onto the back end of Jaden Funamava? Could possibly be at the back end. Back to the battle for 2nd. Stein from Kuhn. Kuhn from du Toit. Du Toit ahead of Antunes as they come up towards the switchback. This is where they cut back and go back into the shortened version of the circuit. No worries at all here for Darling. It's a massive margin that Brody Darling has got over this field. Doing it all right. 52 sevens out of Brody Darling. 53 fives out of Adrian Stein. 53 dead out of Noah Cronier at the back. So you can see Cronier's got the pace to run at the front. Unfortunately, him and Boipela, I think, might have come together and ended off track. Down into the dam section, the reverse angle camera showing us what that drop down to the dam section looks like. As I said, very similar to the Thunderdome at Idubi Kart Circuit, where we head for the next round of this championship. The big double right-hander at turn 2. It's the kart absolutely flat out through a right-hander. Blue flags waving there for the back marker. Back marker potentially going to be, is that, I think it might be Omolemo Mfana being caught. Yes, it is. Omolemo Mfana now being caught as the flag comes out. So just missing out on not having to do an additional lap. To the line though, have a look at this. It's Stein from Kuhn, from du Toit, from Antunes, from Gibbard, from Jensen Diaz. And it is less than half a second splitting 6 carts to the line there in the Bambino's final heat. Showing you just how quick these guys are. And speaking of quick, Noah Cronier on the last lap gets up to 8th place with a 52.7. So he'll be classified in 8th place and score those 8th place points after an off-track excursion early on. But no one could catch Brody Darling. That's 2 out of 2 for him in Bambinos. And that is our 4th last heat of the day completed.
You go, boy.
In 12th position, cart number 18, Bupelo Molatlehi.
Thanks, Bucks.
In 11th position, cart number 46, Liam Wharton.
You go, Liam.
We move into 10th position, cart number 61, Jaden van der Merwe.
Well done, boy.
In 9th position, cart number 37, Michael O'Mahony.
Well done, boy.
In 8th position, cart number 77, Ronaldo Kuhn.
Ronaldo.
In 7th position, cart number 25, Jensen Diaz.
Well done, James.
Then we move into 6th position, cart number 34, Callum de Toy.
Well done, boy.
In 5th position, cart number 13, Benjamin Gibbard.
Well done, Sian.
In 4th position, cart number 11, Adrian Stein.
Well, Adrian.
In 3rd position, cart number 24, Noah Cranier. In 2nd position, cart number 66, Diego Antunes. And our Bambino winner for the day, cart number 22, Brody Dowling.
Well done, boy.
Broads, come stand in the center, boy. Right, there we go. Right, guys, that is our Bambino class, the youngest class of this national championship with kids as young as 5 years old. And our champion for the day, Brody Dowling. Well done. In 2nd position, Diego Untins. In 3rd, Noah Cronier. In 4th, Adrian Stein. 5th, Benjamin Gibbard. In 6th, 34, Callum de Toy. Well done, boys.